go, Voodoo Viewers. I'm back and your old Gert, she's got herself back on here. Yes, I've been busy this past couple of weeks, as I suppose you'd all realise that I was going to be. Well, I've got to earn myself a few bob and I mean, I've got to keep the walls from the door. But do you remember how I said to you I was going to review that Tom Bowles book? You know that Tom Bowles book? I think he wrote a book, I think it was about that Ginger Barry and old Rachel, what's her name, going over there in your Monty Shit show. You know them two? Yes! Oh, there's been a lot of talking about it all over your VooTube there, as yes, all over every social media platform. Everybody's banging on about your bleeding old Tom Bowles because he's been writing a book and everything. Not being funny, I could have written that on the back of a bleeding envelope. Stuff he's come out with. I mean, it's nothing new, is it? I mean, we all knew all that, didn't we? Yes, we did. So anyway, I had a bit of a constipation going on because I got myself all in a conflagration with, well, what's it called? Your Jeff Bezos. You know, your Jeff Bezos, he's in charge of the Amazonian. I think they've all gone on strike. And I think there's been a little bit of a hiccup. And I think there's been a little bit of a catastrophe going on. But it don't matter, because it's all worked itself out well in the end. Because, well, I ordered your book. I said, give me that Tom Bowles book. They said, well, what's the name of it? I said, I don't bloody well know. I'm busy. Tom Bowles, wrote about your Rachel and your Ginger Barry living over in your Monty Shit show. Oh, they said, I don't think we've got that one. Don't know who they are. I said, don't play games with me, Amazonian Jeff Bezos, because I know that you bloody well do know. It's that Ginger Barry, he's got a bleeding great big bald patch on the top of his head where she keeps patting him on the head and going, lower, Barry, lower. One of them. Well, you can tell he's got a big bald patch. I said to Jeff Bezos, don't you muck me about because I ain't got time. I've got things to do, I have. I've got places to go. I've got people to see, I have. I can't be standing here all day on your bleeding phone talking to your Jeff bleeding Bezos. Honestly, call yourself an Amazonian and you don't even know what I'm on about. It's that bleeding book. Tom Bowles. Everyone's raging about it. Everyone's talking about it. He said, no, he said, you're going to have to expand. I said, well, if I expanded any more, Mr. Bowles, I'd bleeding well burst. Everybody knows the book. It's sold out everywhere. She said, well, what's it? I said, listen. I said, as I've told you, and I'm not going to repeat myself, but I'll pay to repeat myself. It's about your Ginger Barry and your Rachel. He said, well, what about them? I said, well, it's about their life. He said, we've got a number of books about them. I said, I think it goes into her character. I said, I think it's a sort of expose. Not that we need any more of Ginger Barry exposed, really, but I think it's an expose. And to be honest, I don't think it's going to tell us anything new, but I promise my VooTube viewers that I'll get the book and I'll bloody well read it. And I'll get myself in front of the VooTube View camera and I will tell all VooTube viewers about the book. He said, there's a lot. You're going to have to be a bit more specific. I said, I think the expose is that it's turned out that your Rachel is a bit like your Humber Turd. He said, yes. I said, your Humber Turd's a bit like your Jada Stinking Rich. You know, the one that got her husband to smack that bloke round the mouth in the Oscars and make all the Oscars about herself. He said, yes. I said, yes. I said, and I think it might be a bit like, well, you know, you're just into heartburn, how she's always grinning while she's actually like, probably killing babies actually, do you know what I mean with that just into heartburn? Yes, yeah, I won't say too much about her, I don't want a curse put on me. But anyway, we got over the slight sort of conflagration about the book and everything. He said, I know the one you mean. He said, I'll send it to you by the first post, Gertie Rude. I said, well, you better had, hadn't you? Because I bloody well need it, and I've waited long enough as it is, Mr. Jeffrey Bezos. So anyway, push comes to shove, fortnight goes by, and he sent it me. And just for you, VooTubers, I'm going to show you what he sent me on account of the fact that I've reviewed it, so you don't have to. And here it is. There you go, VooTube. Can you see that? Yes. Yeah, that is the book. That's the book that Mr. Bezos sent me about your Rachel and your Ginger Barry and all the rest of them. And it turns out, and it transpired, that it's a history book because apparently, these people live for heaven and heaven. And if they don't live for heaven and heaven, I think it's like a job for life. It's a bit like being the Queen. So if you're the Queen and you have a kid, then the kid becomes the Queen. Or the King, depending on the gender. Well, gender's non-specific nowadays. I mean, Charles could be a Queen if he wanted to be a Queen, couldn't he? Yes, he could. It's the world we live in. If he wants to pop a frock on and be a Queen, he can be a bloody Queen. So it's a bit like that. So if you happen to have a mum and a dad that's a king or a queen, then that means you're going to be a king and queen, or something or other. And it's a bit like these people, see. If in your ancestry, one of your ancestors were these people, that word there, that means that when you're born, you're one of them too. Yeah, and it's got royalty in it, because apparently our gracious Majesty the Queen's great granddad was James I of England, and I think he was James VI of Scotland, because he's a bit greedy like that, you know what the Scottish are like. So anyway, yeah, so he took these people to task, he did. Oh yes, he did. And I'll tell you another thing, he weren't having a bar of them. No, he wasn't. He said, no, listen up, you lot. He said, I ain't having none of it. He said, any more trouble from you lot? He said, and I'm going to send you up to Gould. They said no. He said, yes. He said, I'm the bleeding king. I can do what the bleeding hell I like. And I'll tell you why he did it. Because every time he tried to get his queen over from, well, I think she was called Anne of Denmark, so I think she might have come from Germany or France or somewhere, but every time she got on a boat to come to England so he could have a bit of the other with her, well, these people here whipped up a storm, because they said, we don't want no foreign queens, we don't like foreign queens. So they like put a spell, they did a voodoo doll where they probably stuck some pins in it, and one thing and another happened. Anyway, it ended up that he sent them all off to the New World. So I ain't being funny, America. That's probably why you got loads of them over there. Because I think, well, they're descendants, aren't they? A bit like the Queen and Charles. I mean, they're descendants of James, aren't they? And I think you'll find that Rachel is a descendant of these people here. And I think we sent some of them to New Zealand, so before New Zealand starts saying, oh, that ain't fair because we ain't got none of them, you have. You have, don't worry, New Zealand, you've got some. Well, the main biggest one that runs a whole lot of the coven in New Zealand is your Jacinda Hartburn. And you only went and voted her in as president or something or other, didn't you? So I wouldn't fret about it, because you got one and all. Yes, you have, you got one. And they got one in China, because you got your Christy Freelander, free something or other. Not that anything's free where she's bleeding concerned. As soon as she opens her gob, it costs everybody at least 100 bleeding quid. So anyway, yeah, she's not only descended from the Gestapo, as was actually reported not long ago, Christy. No. She's descended from these people as well, because we like to, well, we spread them about the world. I mean, we don't like to be greedy. I mean, obviously, you know, if there's some fine people going on, we'd like to send them everywhere. So we sent some to the New World. We sent some to Australia. I think Australia's got a load of them, but yes, wow, is it Gladys Berry the Gin till you're gone? She's the head coven. Yeah, Gladys Berry Geeky on the Berry the Gin or whatever it is till she's gone, that one. Yeah, she was one of them. Yeah, and you've got, of course, you've got Clancy Dozy in America, haven't you? And her lovely husband, he's so sober. I mean, he spends half of his days on his knees, he does. Yes, he does, praying that she won't beat him anymore. Anyway, so there you go. I've reviewed the book, and basically it don't tell us nothing that we didn't already know. They're just a bunch of bleeding bitches. Or is it witches? I don't know either really, isn't it, Food too? So there you go, that's Gert's reaction video to Mr. Tom Bowles' book. Bye, Voodoo, bye, have a nice weekend, bye, ta-ta, bye.